Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. Today is Wednesday, August 24th, 2016, and I'm going to be going over my lineup strategy for Fanduel's main slate tonight. This is my second video of the day. I hope y'all caught the video earlier today for the early slate. I went over my cash game strategy, and right now it's about 4:30 here where I'm at. And the cash game lineup is putting up 83.8 points right now, and it's cashing in all contests. I got that lineup on the Instagram page if anyone didn't get to see it. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about this main slate. Since I've been having some success with the cash games, the 50-50s, and the head-to-heads, I'm going to talk about it from a cash game perspective. So starting at the first position, my favorite pitcher for cash games will be Jose Fernandez for 10,800. He is a high price, the highest price on the board, but the game is at Marlins Park, a pitcher park. Fernandez, he has a history of being a good pitcher at home, and the Kansas City Royals, they have had an offense that's been struggling lately. As far as BVP statistics, nobody on Kansas City really faced them before, so it's not much history there. And in a cash game, you just don't want to be too risky. So I feel that Fernandez is the safe play, even though he costs a lot of money. If I had to go with a second option for cash games, it's tough because pitcher is a ugly position tonight. I guess maybe Hugh Darvish. I would say Zach Greinke, but the game being at Chase Field, it's just a good hitting environment, so that's a little too risky. So for cash games, I feel that Fernandez is the top play. He very well also may be a top play for tournaments, but I'll tell y'all about my tournament lineup at the end. But for cash games, to keep it safe, Fernandez, I think he's the top play. I'm gonna go through this kind of quickly. For the catcher position. When you spend all that money on Fernandez, you have limited salary, so you have to look at pricing when you're picking other players. But for cash games, for the Sandy Leon of the Boston Red Sox for 2,900, good price tag. He's a switch hitter, so you get that lefty versus righty matchup. Tough ballpark in Tampa Bay, but when you just looking at salary prices, he might be the best option. I know Lucroy is on there, but he's kind of expensive, and Ramos is kind of expensive also. So Sandy Leon, he definitely has some upside. On the season, he's batting a good batting average of 375, so that's a positive. So I think he's a safe play at that price for cash games. Other catchers, like I said, a couple of the other ones, they kind of high price, so it's kind of hard to get to them. But if you can find a way to fit somebody like Lucroy in there, I think he's a good play for cash games also. But, catcher is a position that you don't typically want to spend up for. So I'm going to move on to the next position, first base. My favorite first baseman for cash games is Edwin Encarnacion for the Toronto Blue Jays for $4,000. BVP statistics, believe he's 1 for 3 versus Shoemaker with 1 career home run. The Rogers Center, where Toronto play their games, is a small ballpark and good for home run hitting. So, Encarnacion, if you look at his game log, the last time he hit a home run was on the 20th. But just playing at that ballpark, when I consider the history, I think he's a good play for cash games. Think he got a high floor. And if he can get one out, he'll be right in line with helping your lineup, get a lot of points. You got David Ortiz at the same price. But the thing with Ortiz, playing at Tropicana Field, pitcher's ballpark. So I give Edwin Encarnacion the edge. Also, Edwin Encarnacion, he's at home. Miguel Cabrera is also the same price. I give Edwin Encarnacion the edge because, again, he's at home, a better ballpark. Freddie Freeman's right around the same price, $4,100, but he has a bad history versus Greinke. can't remember that off the top of my head, but I believe he's batting like one something in like 15 at best. I'm not sure exactly, but it's not a favorable BVP statistics. And then you got Goldsmith for 4,200. Yeah, it's in a good park at Chase Field in Arizona, but Julio Teheran, I think he's a decent pitcher. So, Edwin Encarnacion is my top cash game play for first base. Just looking at some of the other guys, I wouldn't do Pujols. The only thing that's positive about Pujols, his price is a little lower, 3,600. So if it's a salary decision, maybe Pujols, because it's again, Rogers Center in Toronto is a small ballpark. And that's about it. Yeah, that's about it for first base as far as cash game plays. Second base, next position. This was strictly a salary decision. Jose Peraza for the Cincinnati Reds, 2,700. A positive thing about him, he's batting second in the order, so he'll get a lot of opportunities, to come to the plate. He's been doing pretty good. He's batting over 300 on the season. Last 2 games, double-digit fantasy points. 4 of the last 5 games he's played, double-digit fantasy points. August 23rd, 18 fantasy points. August 22nd, 27.6 fantasy points. August 20th, 34.9 fantasy points. And July 31st, 22.2 fantasy points. And at a favorable price of 2,700, I think he's great to play in a cash game tonight. Other second baseman, let's see. Possibly Forsythe for the Tampa Bay Rays. His price tag is just kind of high. Of course, Daniel Murphy is a great cash game play, but if you choose to use Fernandez at pitcher, it's going to be hard to fit him in there at 4,300. So there's a few guys leading off. Dustin Pedroia, 3,400, and D. Gordon at 3,300. But again, like I said, because of the fact that I'm using Fernandez in a cash game, I had to make a salary decision, and I believe Jose Peraza is a good play for cash games tonight. And at third base, this was mainly a salary decision also. Martin Prado for 3,000. Decent BVP statistics versus Dylan G. 1 career home run. I believe he's batting maybe like 267. I'm not sure what the sample size is, but Marlins Park is a tough ballpark, but he's batting second in the order, so he'll get the plate opportunities. He has 1 career home run against the pitcher he's facing. So at 3,000, I think he's a great option for cash games to fit into this particular lineup. Other than Prado, I would say Anthony Rendon. I think he's the overall number 1 cash play tonight. The Baltimore Orioles, Wade Miley is pitching, a left-hander, so I definitely like the Washington Nationals right-handers tonight. But again, Rendon and maybe Donaldson, but he's expensive, So if you got Fernandez, you're gonna have to, get some value plays. But if you don't have Fernandez, again, Rendon and Donaldson and maybe Machado, and possibly Longoria also. Longoria, he's batting 300 against Porcello, and I believe it's 20 at bats in the last 5 years. So again, salary decision, I like Martin Prado at third base for cash games tonight. Moving on to the shortstop position, it's basically, a lot of this lineup is basically salary decisions. Darwin Barney for 2,400 for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's 2,400, but the intriguing thing about him is he's leading off tonight. Last night he put up 18 fantasy points. I noticed in a lot of contests, a lot of people had him. When you get somebody leading off, you always have to consider them because they're going to get so many plate opportunities. But Darwin Barney, I think he's a great cash game play for tonight. All right. Other shortstops you can consider if you do have the money. Definitely. Trey Turner for 4,100. He's definitely in play for cash games. Great stolen base upside, good hitter, lefty versus righty matchup, and I believe the wind is supposed to be blowing out in Washington, D.C. tonight. So I think Trey Turner would be my top cash game play. I also like, Brad Miller. BVP statistics, 3 career home runs versus Porcello. We all know that he kills right-handed pitching. So Brad Miller, he's another good play for cash games. Tulowitzki, being that he's playing in a small ballpark in Toronto against Shoemaker, who's a mediocre pitcher. And yeah, that's about all I see for shortstop for cash games. But if I had to say the top cash game plays for shortstop position, Trey Turner and Brad Miller, and then Troy Tulowitzki. But because I got Fernandez, I think Barney is a viable option at 2,400, and he's leading off, so that's a plus. And moving on to the last position of the outfield, I like all these are pretty much salary decisions. Corey Dickerson for the Tampa Bay Rays for 2,900. He's batting 8th in the order, but it is a lefty versus righty matchup. He has 1 career home run against Porcello, and I believe he's 3 for 10 batting 300. So he's a good cheap option for cash games. The next outfielder is also a BVP play. Michael Saunders for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's 1 for 6 versus Shoemaker over the last 5 years with 1 career home run. Lefty versus righty matchup, small ballpark in Toronto, and Saunders, he hit a home run on last night, so that's another positive. And the last outfielder I have for this cash lineup is Marcell Ozuna for the Miami Marlins for 3,200. Let me look this up real quick. Sorry. Ozuna, I believe in 15 at bats, he's batting 333 versus Dylan G, the pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. So, other than the value plays, as far as just in general in outfield, cash game plays, I believe Mookie Betts, Mike Trout, they definitely in play. And Yoenis Cespedes, he's in play. Maybe Jason Worth, good on-base percentage. Lefty versus righty matchup, winds blowing out in D.C. And maybe Billy Hamilton at 3,100 leading off. He's one of the best base stealers in the whole league. His price went down because I know at some point he was up to like 3,400. So being a switch hitter at home, decent ballpark, he got 53 stolen bases on the season. Billy Hamilton might be an excellent cash game play. Hugh Darvish is just a pretty good pitcher, but Hamilton, I can see why you might possibly want to use him. So just to recap, this cash game lineup, 50-50s and head-to-heads. I think Fernandez is the safest play, the pitcher with the least amount of risk. And, the rest of it was just based off of salary, because I spent so much on Fernandez. So I like Sandy Leon. At first base, I like Edwin Encarnacion because of the ballpark and the history. Second base, I like Jose Peraza, but definitely if you can fit Murphy in, go ahead and do that. All the Nationals, I think they're in play. If you can fit a Washington Nationals stack into your cash game, I think you should go ahead and do it. I think the Nationals are the top offense, in my opinion, for tonight. At third base, Martin Prado. Shortstop, a value play, Darwin Barney. But again, Trey Turner for the Nationals, top cash game play. And Brad Miller, remember, BVP statistics, 3 career home runs versus Porcello. And, the last 3 outfielders are just salary decisions. Corey Dickerson for Tampa Bay, Michael Saunders for Toronto Blue Jays, and Marcell Ozuna for the Miami Marlins. I'm thinking I'm probably going to switch out Saunders for Billy Hamilton, probably, most likely. I think that would be a better cash game play because Saunders is more like a tournament play because a lot of people not going to think about using him. But a lot of people will think about using Billy Hamilton. And I don't want to, fall behind the field by not having him. So as I was just going through this video, I just kind of realized that Billy Hamilton is probably the better cash game play for tonight. So, that's my cash game lineup strategy. I just learned over the last couple of days, cash games are just so much easier than tournaments. You don't win as much money, but, you don't have to think as hard. It's not as challenging. It's pretty much, in my opinion, just about common sense and, making logical picks and, just making common sense plays. I'm not going to go through my whole tournament lineup, but just to give y'all an idea of what I have for my tournament lineup. Now, this is the risky one. At pitcher, I'm going with Tanner Roque for the Washington Nationals. I just feel that I wanted to save on pitcher. A lot of people may not think of him. If people aren't using Fernandez, I think a lot of people may use Greinke or Tehran. And, Rourke, I think he's just an excellent tournament play, playing at home. I know Baltimore has a prolific offense as far as hitting home runs, but hopefully they just have one of their bad nights. And for the rest of my lineup, I just combined it with two stacks. I got the Washington Nationals and the Tampa Bay Rays. I like the Tampa Bay Rays left-handed bats, and I like the Washington Nationals right-handed bats. So that's just my tournament lineup. It's risky, hopefully something good can come out of it. But definitely, I hope y'all paid attention to my cash game strategy. That's gonna be the close of the video. Again, I want to thank everybody who's taking the time out to view this video this afternoon. Thank you for everyone who subscribed to the YouTube channel. I believe we're up to like 33 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who's a part of the Facebook group, #BeTheBestDFS. Thanks to everyone who's joined, following the Twitter account @BeTheBestDFS. And thank you for everyone who's following the new Instagram page @BeTheBestDFS. I will be posting my cash lineup for tonight, the Be The Best DFS cash lineup for tonight on the Instagram page. So if you're not following, make sure you follow that Instagram page, and the cash lineup will be there, the same cash lineup that I use. The cash games, it's like easy money. It's not a lot of money, but it's easy money. So if you're interested, follow that Instagram page. And definitely just thank you for all the support. Please comment on the videos and let me know, do y'all like the cash game strategy videos or the tournament strategy videos? Because I kind of do both, so I can do either one. But just give me feedback. And some days I'll talk about cash games, some days I'll talk about tournaments, just depending on what kind of feedback I get. But again, thanks so much everyone for the views, the likes, just all the support all around. I appreciate it so much. And good luck tonight. I hope everyone's able to win some money. Hopefully I'm able to win some money. And hopefully tonight is just a successful night. And I'll leave y'all with what I always leave y'all with. Try to be the best tonight. All right, I'm out.